So first of all, so here, yeah, I mean, first of all, here you are, back at Eurovision after the most, let's say, chaotic year of anybody's lives. How are you?
Good. The simple answer is good.
Good.
It's been a year. Very good to see all of you. I didn't even say hello. Nice to see
Oh,
you all. It's been a year. I mean, like all of us, we're surviving. It's kind of surreal still that we're actually here.
yeah,
So
yeah, I bet.
what's happening? So
It's one of those things that actually being able to go to Eurovision and be there, and it's obviously there was always protocol in place if you couldn't make it for whatever reason, but actually being able to finally get there and stand on that stage must be both a relief and quite cathartic, given you've had to go through the mill, not just about not going last year, but about everything when the entry came out this year, and it's been like a roller coaster. So it must be, yeah, exactly. So actually,
and even mentioning the damned PCR test before we left to get on the plane. That was so even to go back to that for me was one of the scariest tests I've taken in my life.
yeah,
Where we're like, okay, I know I've been isolated. I'm staying away from people. I'm doing all of this. And just those 4 hours waiting for that damn thing to be like, am I getting on a plane or am I not? So it's been a sleepless, sleepless night, few nights in a row, but worth it. And the feeling of standing on that stage, yes, I knew what to expect, but I didn't. It was one of those, it's like, holy smokes.
Benta actually very recently had to take a PCR test to see if she could get in/out, because Benta went to Bulgaria a few weeks ago to meet Victor.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, the PCR test, it stressed me out so much. Because it's like, especially for you, like you're so dependent on it because it's like
Yes.
life-changing basically. Like, oh my God, I can't even imagine. But though, like I am going to Rotterdam next week, I have tickets. And I'm already so stressed out about like, is my test gonna be negative? Am I able to go? You
Yeah,
know?
about it.
So do you want to just give us, I guess, a little bit of an overview about the whole process of writing "Here I Stand," just as Julian joins us as well. Hi, Julian.
Hi.
Do you want to just talk to us about why you wanted to take this journey this year, which of course has rightfully culminated in a beautiful interview with Attitude in the last week. Kind of what? Just talk us through that process.
So, as I have mentioned, the song came out like a message through me. And that's one of the coolest, most satisfying things because when that happened, yes, I was devastated because COVID canceled the world, not just the contest. So I wasn't angry because I'm like, I can't be angry for something we have no control over. And for me, music is my escape. So I call it the clinker. I have a keyboard that's yay big. So literally was sitting like this on my bed, crying, not gonna hide that fact. And just started, I was just diddle on the keyboard and the melody came out. There are times, started singing that. There are times. And I was like, oh, I like this. So I just kept writing, and it just came out. And this was mid-June, not even mid-June the song came out. And I said, wow, I have a beautiful song and I'm going to save this. I said, this will have its proper place. Of course, I didn't know if I was going to Eurovision. As I keep saying, I held my breath for 8 months until the broadcast decided that they're sending me again, which I'm so thankful for it. And then when they did that, I said, just like I did the last time, please let's have an open call because you never know who's going to write the song. And we did that like we did for 2020. In 2020, I submitted 5 songs. None of them made it to the second or third round. And You was the song we heard it. And I said, okay, this is what I kind of want. And this year I submitted Here I Stand, as well as my last single, Subina. Those were the two where I was like, these 2 songs, I'm really, really, I believe that I can bring something very special with. Here I Stand, the most authentic me of who I believe I am and how to present myself. Many of the fans and close friends last year kept saying, Boss, you is amazing, but where is the voice we know is in there? Why are you not singing? Why are you not? So I admit I had that in the back of my mind. There was beautiful songs this year that came through, but nothing touched the vulnerability of what Here I Stand is. So it was chosen. And then the journey to continue to take you through that, I knew I wanted live orchestra. So it was a question of how do we do this? Because I said, if I do a vulnerable song, I want that experience to have every instrument to be there. So you just know it's that extra depth, which to me means a lot. And to add an even bigger layer, which we're making the most out of, the back vocals this year, because I think it's going to be the only time in history that we're allowed to have them pre-recorded. So that's why there's a lot of hallelujah choruses in there, because we're using that because I think it's a special thing that we can use. And the one rule from my broadcast is they said I have to go alone and be alone on stage. So then Sudbina in my mind, as amazing as that is, I said this has got to fall back because I cannot do, Sudbina needs Hollywood on stage. And the way I envision if that was to go to Eurovision, yes, it's one of those epic songs, but alone on stage is just gonna go. So very, very glad that here I stand and here I stand and here I stand.
Mhm.
I'm sure we will see the kind of Sudbina performance you had in mind anyway further down the line. It's the kind of thing that you can always fall back on and pick up at any future given moment. But it's so lovely to see any kind of part of you in this year's entry, and like I say, that beautiful attitude interview was just that perfect eye opener behind the lyrics and the story as well, and actually just draws on kind of your soul literally, and we could see it on stage. I know Tim, when you took in that first version of the first rehearsal the other day, we were quite taken aback, weren't we, by the
No, I was quite taken aback by the vest.
Yeah.
When you opened the vest, and we were all like, what?
It's really raw, isn't it? It's powerful, and it provides a moment.
So I just wanted to ask you, how did that concept come about of just like you having, well, obviously we knew you were going to be alone on stage, as you just mentioned, but how did it come to, how did it come about to have that powerful staging with just you being yourself?
This is where I'm blessed to have met Tina and Marie in Tel Aviv with Tamara when they did her staging, and I met them. And when you meet people and energy-wise, just the soul connects, and you're like, I know you, I love you, and I'm going to tell you I love you because I don't care, because I don't know you for that long. So we kind of hit it off right away. And I told them, I said, when the day comes for me to do Eurovision, I'm going with you or I'm not going. So that's, to me, was very, very important. And we had a lot of conversations with Tina and Marie. I had the vision. I knew that I wanted to add kintsukuroi in there, which I mentioned. For those of you who don't know, that's if Japanese technique, if porcelain is broken, if you glue it up with gold lacquer, it's even more beautiful with the cracks and the gold than it was in the original state. Oh. So we wanted that to show the vulnerability of all of us, because we all have it. Yeah, and it's very easy to put on a face or a mask, as I call it, on social media, filters, on and on and on. So we wanted that vulnerability of the human journey, and pun intended, one heart in music is one of our big key messages. We wanted the main thing, even before the whole chaos with music video and everything happened, to turn darkness into light, to help people who have no voice. We've all been through so much in our life that, it comes a point where you're like, I'm proud of myself. And here I stand, and you can try to bring me down, but it's not gonna work. So the mirrors are pretty much that. It's the soldier shield, but it's the moment. I always say, so much energy comes our way all the time. There's good and bad. And I always say, I welcome the good with open arms. But if you have bad energy, just know that the moment you reach me, you turn into white light. So I think that was the key conversation we had, where we said, so much is directed at us. Let's see, in this hard time, and with such a message that everybody can relate to, let's just see how we can bring it on stage to be vulnerable and true to me. So I hope that answered your question.
It did.
There was so many, I suppose there were so many lovely moments that were created in the staging. For me personally, it's almost that split second before I think it's the second verse or the second chorus, when you kind of tilt yourself back and we get this beautiful side camera angle of you kind of with the microphone to the side. I think that's just, it sounds awful, doesn't it? It's very Bohemian Rhapsody, that music video for the film. I got this immediate moment of, oh wow, this is like performer at work, really capturing the attention. And Julian yesterday, we, as part of our like live stream broadcast, we have used Julian's light system in his room to showcase the visual performance on stage, because we can't show the screens to any of the fans. They all want to know what it looks like. Julian's room was bathed in beautiful red lighting.
Amazing.
As we took it through, so it certainly caught the attention. You can see Julian's lights going now. It was one of those rehearsals yesterday that just, I think, took us all by surprise, I think, because sometimes, and I'm sure Dom will and Julian will say the same here, sometimes we think we know what we're going to expect, and then we get something totally different. And you were one of those yesterday. I don't know, how did you feel, Julian, when you saw it?
I was very surprised by it. You managed to create a moment, and I think you're one of the only acts who uses like augmented reality in the performance, especially in the beginning, where it's like on your chest and this light opens, and it was just a wonderful moment. And it was on Saturday. It was one of my favorite performances of the day. And also the vest and the light hitting it. There was so many beautiful moments on camera that day. So I was very, very surprised and happy with it.
Thank you.
Did you find, Vasil, the standing on stage and actually doing the run through? Did you find it, I don't want to say stressful, but did you like enjoy that moment, even though it's hard work, but that actual moment of, because you put so much energy and so much time into it, is it easy to actually enjoy working on the Eurovision stage?
Combination of both. So that journey of that day, I mean, as I mentioned, the previous night before that, we didn't sleep the night because of excitement. I didn't sleep. So I was running an adrenaline, and we had the sound check before for 30 minutes. I had sang it once full out before. I believe we sang it 3 times, and the first time I did it just in the hall with the postcard. And then we did the 2 runs, which I believe were broadcast to you guys in the press.
Yeah. And
then for that, I'd already started saving because I experienced it. And then I'm like, if I keep giving too much, where am I gonna go? So, you know, it's one of those things, but as stressful as it was, yes, there were amazing moments of just soaking it in.
We get to do it all again. It's, you know, it's not once, is it?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Numerous times.
You make any changes?
Very little tweaks. I wouldn't call them changes. Yes, there's few major camera changes, angles, and then we're just still tweaking the moment of, we need to capture that proper moment of turning darkness into light. So that's our biggest challenge, in me in the proper position to stand and the camera to hit the right angle. So that's going to be our main focus tomorrow, I'm sure.
I was actually, I was curious because these guys have seen full rehearsal. I haven't. I've only seen, I mean, I want to, but I couldn't. I've only seen a video that was posted onto Eurovision. So it's very interesting to hear what you guys are saying. Do you have like, I don't know, like a favorite moment from a full performance that like me can really look forward to?
There's I mean, it just builds up. It starts so small and then it just goes. So every change for me is beautiful. The one thing that I really, really like is the LED screen. When the back vocals come up, they are done. They react to the movement, motion, note changes of the back vocals. So that I never get to see that. So that's something you experience. But when I watch it on the screen, I'm like, oh, I wish I could just turn around and watch. Or the augmented reality, which is something I never see, but that's very hard for me because I have to be exactly right in order for it to work.
Yeah, how much practice did that take?
I'm still practicing.
It looks great to us, if that's any consolation. It looks like we immediately...
Yeah, go talk to Tina about that. So,
Julian, yesterday when we watched the rehearsal, we thought we saw the screen reacting to the backing vocals exactly as Vasil described it. It feels like I've got a bit more of a picture now of the rehearsal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just to give you a little more insight, so the augmented reality becomes the voices. You see the inner light, the golden light spreads through the screen as I let it out. So then my voice becomes all of our voices. So it ends up being, we all have to stand together.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that.
Super cool concept. Now you're obviously, you are kind of forced by the EBU to quarantine inside of a hotel. Have you gotten any chance to at least visit the city a little bit, go around, have a look?
Not really, other than running, as I kept saying to the here, I'm going to show you to the left. I don't know if you can see it. So I run to that left.
You've got a
no big deal, huh? No big deal. So this I'm enjoying very much so. Other than that, the only thing we see of the city is when the bus driver picks us up, and we're all like this through the window. So not much walking around. I mean, as we jog, yes, I see, but still you focus in an area, you're not going to go running in the main. So, but as much as we can, there's a few organized tours. Everything is very strict, but this is where I'm so thankful I had 2019 to experience full Eurovision.
I was about to say, I think Proud is one of Tim's favorite entries of all time. So I'm sure that Tim's probably got 100,000 questions about Proud, but I'll kick you off very quickly. That was such an incredible moment. It won the jury votes. I don't know if you've ever been kind of informed about this. Despite what was presented on screen, Macedonia won the jury votes that year. And that you were part of this moment that was created with Tamara. That must have been just, I mean, it's punny, but that you must have been so proud.
Yeah.
That whole experience. So just talk us through that whole experience for you as a backing singer being part of such a successful performance.
That whole year was such an honor because I was also a ghostwriter in the song. So I wrote the lyrics to the chorus and I prepped Tamara vocally. So we were very, very close I warmed her up, I got her ready. We had these rituals that we used to do. It was unbelievable being part of that. And for me, it confirmed the fact that I want to do this one day. So to me, and when those 12 started coming in, I can try to describe it to you, but there's just no words. It's just like, you're smiling. It hurts so much from smiling. You can't believe it. And you're just like, what? So that's something I'm going to cherish, which is also an interesting thing because I remember one of the last things I told her when it was over, I said, good luck to the next Macedonian representative.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. That's one of the last things I told her, and I saw it as a good sign. Before, you turn your phone on airplane, before you lift off, she called me. And I'm like, I go there. I was like, I'm getting on a plane. I got to hang up. So it was very nice. You got to trust the universe sometimes. But it was an experience unlike anything else.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, because obviously you worked with Tamara quite well in 2019. Did she give you any advice? So, I mean, I know you were there, but did she give you any words of wisdom, per se, just going into it?
Just be yourself, trust yourself, and sing like I know you can. And enjoy the moment.
It'll be world's best pep talk, that.
Yeah.
I've got one small question for you that kind of focuses on, I suppose, so we know quite a lot about you having sang in Chicago in choirs and the like. But I've always wondered what took you back to your roots, literally, and I'll be totally frank. I love Patsuvam. I absolutely adore Batuvam. I just think it's so representative of what Macedonian music needs to be out there. Let's say so. From choir in Chicago to that, and what took you back to that?
Well, it wasn't just from choir to Chicago. I had a 13-year career as a leading opera singer. So that was a completely different. I mean, choir, I grew up in choir. I grew up as a child pop star. So I think that's going back to the roots, full circle. Every time I would do a classical concert, I always ended with either a jazzy piece or a Macedonian song. And the audience would come up to me and they're like, the opera was amazing, but what you did in that last piece, nobody can do. Why are you not recording that? So I think that was something that was in there. So I always knew I was going to go back. And one of my main teachers in the choir in Chicago said, I want you to study opera because we know you can sing pop. We know you can sing musical theater. We know you can dance. Learn opera and classical technique so then you can break all the rules and do what you want to do. So at first I didn't get it. Now I get it. And I'm so thankful for that discipline because it really helps on stage like this. And then I was living in London before I ended up choosing to leave opera behind, studying with the teacher there. And in that year in London, it was one of the most, I was 33 at the time. It was such a moment where I said, it's time to go back home, touch upon my roots before I can spread my wings and fly. And that's when I went back. I found Gerdan and just the rest of the songs. I have a full album ready. The Macedonian album is ready. Patuvam came from that. I mean, that song I love and I adore. And it has such a strong message because it's called I Travel Free, where a dream is a dream come true, with an empty backpack, but a full soul. So it's a lot of powerful hidden messages with everything. So all of my songs, and something to tell you, an exciting one from you. Every song I've released up until Here I Stand is tied together. It's the whole journey. So if you watch the music videos, there are hints where you ends, Prikazna starts. Prikazna is the continuation and kind of I'm making fun of the people with the bartender comments. Prikazna ends, and then comes Sudbina, which means we are born naked. The rest is Sud and Bina, which is judgment and stage. And then after me revealing myself fully naked on that stage, Here I Stand. So that whole journey on purpose I've done. I'm always with those subtle messages in there, but if you analyze, everything is there.
I can see Dominic's face lighting up because this is very Taylor Swift. That's her entire shtick. So, I mean, if you're going to take,
gotta have a message, you know.
Yes.
if you're ever going to take inspiration from anyone for a set of music videos, that's probably a good place to start. Is there more to come in this story?
I hope so. I mean, this story kind of, once I surrendered to the universe with it, it took a completely different meaning. Once the music video came out, I realized the impact and the story. And as I said, I believe I said this in Attitude, or even before in an interview. No, I did a post on Twitter where I said, voice for the voiceless. Here I stand with you, stand with me. This was when the drama had gone to even potentially me not going this year. And the love that came from the Eurovision family. This is where I said, this is where the power is. This is what standing together means. And that whole, to be the voice for the ones who don't have a voice, who can't speak up. And this is where Attitude, sharing that story, elevated the whole process. And I'm so, so thankful. And I even told them, I wrote a song that says, my walls are down, my heart is in your hand. How can I expect to touch you if I'm not fully vulnerable and open?
I think, you touched upon it, and the fan reaction to the fact that people were even questioning whether you were eligible was absolutely ridiculous.
For being a human being, may I add?
Yes, there's. I can't put it politely, so I won't. But it really was absolute bullshit, and it was. Even reading it from our perspective, and I know we had many internal chats about the fact that it was absolute trash. I can't even put myself into your shoes to even imagine where your head goes when some literal bullshit like that turns up. I am staggered, I suppose, by your ability to brush it off and actually just continue on and put it out there in the way that you have, because that very much is the fuck all the haters in a nutshell, frankly. There really is no better way.
You said it.
Yeah, there is no better way to put it, because it is such a ridiculous statement that anyone could make, that your existence is invalid. Yeah. Simple as that.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Has anyone got any other burning questions for Vasil?
I have actually. I'm wondering, when you're just stuck in the hotel room, like at the moment, what are you doing to like calm down and to relax? Like, do you have favorite TV shows or read a book or listen to music?
Yes, I am at the moment on Selena Part 2 on Netflix. So that's what I'm watching. We have a living room downstairs. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. They created a big living room. So in my hotel, there's a few delegations. We haven't yet met. So I finally met my Leslie today while we were getting tested and we couldn't talk.
No.
So I'm like, come on. Yeah. So we kind of did, okay, let me elbow you. But we're gonna, so we hang out together as groups downstairs, but we're segregated from everybody. So,
I mean, that screams movie night.
Yeah.
Oh.
well, we're thinking about it. We'll see.
Take a film down there and while away an evening. So you, in effect, you can have a lovely chat within your delegation, and you cannot interact with other delegations.
Well, we can. It's weird. It's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, not like 2019 whatsoever. No, we spoke to Natalia literally an hour ago, and the first thing she said is no parties this year. Like that was the first thing she came out with. So
she was very upset about it.
She was.
Okay, well, I can tell you that the red carpet is coming and somebody's bringing drama.
Okay, I'm ready for it. I need to see it. I'm excited.
We've got a theme this year, and as you can guess, our theme is mirrors. So
Interesting.
I'm very, very excited about that.
I'm going to have to tune in now to the turquoise carpet. I was thinking, do I go and see my mother? But no, now I think the turquoise carpet maybe takes the priority.
Why don't you go see your mother and then watch the red carpet together? Win-win.
To be fair, that is a win-win and a great answer.
You're welcome.
I'll tick that box then. I'll just say, yes, I can come, but we have to sit and watch turquoise carpets. No shoes that clash with turquoise, because that will be a problem.
Yeah.
Has anyone got any other lovely questions for the lovely Vasil?
Yeah, I mean, I got something. So I told my friend I was gonna do this Zoom call. She's a super big fan of yours, so she was like super excited. And the only thing she wanted me to ask you is how big of a theater nerd are you? Because your song "Here I Stand" is so like such an, how do you say, like end of the musical final song type thing. That's all she wanted to know. How big of a theater nerd are you really?
You know, I wouldn't say I'm a theater nerd. I love musicals. I don't even know if I would say I'm an opera nerd. Yeah, I'm an opera nerd. So I guess the opera is theater.
That works.
But at least nobody died, and here I stand. So it can't be opera.
It's not a tragedy.
No, it's
no tragedy. Yeah. No, you know, I'm not a big, but I appreciate it a lot. So.
I mean, I think, like Benta says, it would make a great end of the musical, even an end of the first act.
Yeah.
On this moment of, right, I'm ready for the next bit. So yeah, it's, if anyone ever comes up and asks for the rights, just definitely let a musical have that.
No, I'll say welcome to Vasil, the musical.
There you go.
Let's do it.
We planned it. We'll just have to sit now and plot. If you can plot music videos together, I'm pretty sure in a collaborative group like this, we can plot an entire musical.
Oh, definitely.
Sure,
I mean, that's what I said. Yeah.
Yes, we will storyboard it virtually. That's the right way to do it. Vasil, thank you so much for your time today.
So nice to see you all. I keep seeing you all on social media, but it's nice to see everybody, and hopefully one day in person together too.
Well, you know, I am gonna be in Rotterdam next week,
Yeah.
so who knows? And I don't mean to like stalk you or anything, but my Airbnb
But I'm
is
gonna
super
run with you in the
close to
morning.
your hotel, and I know that because the view is the same. So you know, we might run into each other.
There you go. That's a jog. That's a jog for you, Benta. You'll have to get up one morning.
Oh no, I hate running. No, that's
The only way we can meet, so you better run.
oh, are you really gonna make me?
It would make the greatest Instagram story content, Benta. That's
Yes.
all I'll tell you.
So all we
That's
do every
true.
morning, that's how we start. What mood are we in today?
6 a.m.
Yeah. So great to see you guys.
Honestly, Vasil, thank you so much. And yes, like you say, hopefully in person one day very soon. We're all, apart from Benta, who's very fortunate to be able to go, being a resident, we're all very, very sad that we also can't be there this year. So we're sending you all of our love from across the continent, and just wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Oh, look, there you go. He was prepared.